Daddy Davies when I see you play on TV.
Daddy Davies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you say? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay.
You like that? Can I call you Daddy all the time?
If you want.
Hey, welcome in to an upload. Not enough time to do a live, so I thought I would do a pre-record, and I've got a fabulous guest with me. And unfortunately, no, it is not Daddy Davies. He got hurt, so I think we effectively have one center back going into tomorrow. Don't want to bog you down in the beginning of the episode or the upload with that information. However, we do got to talk about Chelsea. We got Chelsea Brighton early tomorrow. I think I'm going to do a watch along tomorrow. So if you are watching this right now and you're like, is Jacob going to go live tomorrow? I think consensus says I need to do a watch along and not a post-match show. So that's what we're going to do. I should be on Weird Tottenham TV as well doing the pre-match pump-up. So if you're watching this after the fact, just fucking disregard all that anyway. But let me bring on the guest. And I just wanted to play that Daddy Davies video off the top because honestly, we're going to miss you, Papa. We're going to miss you. I once said famously, not famously, shittily, send him back to Wales because he missed an open header. He was wide open on goal. I can't remember where it was. Maybe it was Newcastle or Wolves. And we could have won the game. And he missed a wide open header. And I was screaming, send him back to Wales. But you know what? This is why I am here. And Ainge is where he is. And people are where they are because they are supposed to make those decisions on where to send him. And we've sent him on the pitch this year, and he's done nothing but good things for us until he got hurt versus Bournemouth. So we will try to get past that. But before we get past that, let me bring on my guest. We've got the one and only Ladimus Prime. How are you doing? Chelsea fan, but I'm going to say just a very good football-minded folk. Like, he's got very fair, balanced analysis, even though we are a quote-unquote crosstown rival. Well, I guess a crosstown rival wouldn't be quote-unquote because we literally are. But I was going to say a quote-unquote rival because, like we were mentioning before the show, there's never been a time that Tottenham, since I've been a fan, that Tottenham have been dominant over Chelsea. And I think it's kind of a lot of the same way for a lot of people in my generation. But first of all, Ladimus Prime, how are you doing, buddy? And secondly, how are you feeling heading into tomorrow? Or heading into the match, Chelsea. I shouldn't date it like that. I should try and make it evergreen. Huh?
I'm good, Jacob. Thank you for having me on. How am I doing? Me, like a lot of Chelsea fans, we're just a chill guy. You know what I mean? It's a chill guy, enjoying the season. Not in a tight race.
I know the meme.
We're just enjoying the season. We're a chill guy. We're just a chill guy.
Well, I'm going to say this about the chill guy meme. We started the chill guy meme because on this channel specifically, I've called out the blatant weird behavior of Spurs fans to be so upset about Ange Postecoglou's hands in his pockets that I screamed hands in the pockets until literally there was a meme of, I think it's a dog. I thought it was an aardvark. I was like, what cartoon is this? And I don't know where it came from or why it happened, but it was that, cartoon of the hands in the pockets. And I like that you are trying to take it from Ange Postecoglou, but let's remember who originated hands in the pockets. That's Ange Postecoglou. And Unai Emery's the inflatable and flailing arm tube man that everyone says that they want. But look, it doesn't matter where you're flailing around or whether your hands are in your pockets. If you're getting results, everyone's happy. If you're not getting results and you're dropping points, people are going to be pissed. And it seems like one describes you and your club and your fans, and one describes me and my club and my fans. And it's a funny old twist of stories because it was 2 years ago we were just laughing at you, but still losing, or not winning and then losing.
A year ago, even people are laughing at us. I remember this time last year. Well, 10 games in, Spurs unbeaten, Chelsea in a mess. Some people were trying to sneak Spurs into title conversations and whatever. And Ange was the benchmark of new managers coming into this league. And
yeah, it was a fun ride when he first got here. I can't lie. Those first 10 matches, it was like walking on. I was moving a lot differently, and everyone likes to pull me up on my behavior in that time. But I regret nothing. I would change nothing of what I've said or any of my behaviors because as a long suffering, but not suffering as long as some other Spurs fans, you take your wins where you can get them. And I'm a shameless and petty man myself, admittedly, and I will find anything to grasp on, like the shred of hope I have for tomorrow, which is my running theory here, Prime. You know it, and it's time to hear it again. Your manager's bald, all right? Your manager is bald, and Ainge, he don't take too kindly to bald people, I'll be honest.
Let's not discriminate against people, okay? Just because you're bald doesn't mean you're any less than other people, okay? It's fine. Okay,
no, I agree. Manager. See, while I may agree with that, Ladimus, my point is this. Ainge, I can't speak for Ainge. I think he's got problem with bald people. I don't. It's fine if you're bald.
You have no hair, sweetie. Oh, baby.
Touch me. Fucking touch me.
It's okay to have no hair. But for some reason, I have a running theory that Ainge despises bald folks, especially in this current season. So, that's one little shred that I'm holding on. You know the meme of was Spider-Man where he's hanging onto the train and he's like, his clothes are all ripped and, people have memed it saying like men's underwear holding on, the last thread of the underwear holding on, but it's still workable. That's what, bro, I am that last strand on Spider-Man's suit that's getting stretched so thin. I don't know how much longer I can take it or how much more stretching I can do because God dang it, baby, they're wearing me thin. But it's not Ange Postecoglou. Let me be very, very clear. It's not Ange Postecoglou that's wearing me thin. It's this club and these players, and most specifically, these fans, these Tottenham Hotspur fans, I'll be honest. But, Prime, we're not here to talk about fans. We're here to talk about Chelsea and Tottenham tomorrow, Sunday, December the 8th. I'm scared. And I'll tell you, the number one reason why I'm scared, and I want you to tell me your thoughts on why I should be scared, because I want validation of my fears almost, so then I can conquer them. Because when you validate the fact you're scared of Mount Everest, then you go conquer that bitch. You either do it or you die on the way up. And a lot of people die on the way up. And I hope that we are not the metaphorical Mount Everest hiker. However, when we fail to deal with the press of a Brighton in the second half, of an Ipswich, of a Crystal Palace, it wasn't even the most rigorous. One of them, I think, Crystal Palace, I was like, oh, wow, they pressed so well. I didn't think they'd press that well. And then when it happened again with Ipswich, I was like, okay, there's no way that they press that well too. So then I started thinking, maybe we just don't deal with the press very well. And especially when we're playing out of the back with no Vicario and we got Fraser Forster. And there was a goal that Chelsea scored versus Southampton, the first one from Nkunku. They were playing out of the back, and it looked like Tottenham playing out of the back. They give the ball up, you pick it up, you score. So your press creates a goal. We've done that, and we've also done really well in our press to force errors, but we just can't capitalize on them. So my question, well, it's not really a question. It's more like, where do you see this? Because I'm rambling here for a second about the press in specific, because for me, we have, with our first team, struggled with the press. With our mix and match A/B team, we don't really have a B team. It's all just an A/B team at the end of the day, but it's now gravitating more towards the B team. Dragusin is our only center back, and he's not our starter, and he's the only one we got. It's going to probably, if Romero can't play, it's going to be Archie Gray and Dragusin as our center backs. Then Destiny and Pedro Porro, Fraser Forster in goal. Does this sound great? No, it doesn't. But
sounds great for me. Sounds great for me. You asked me a question. I answered your question.
You're right. I did. That is the whole shtick we're doing here. The whole I ask and you talk, and then you ask and I talk, and this conversation is true. But we suck with the press. And anytime I've watched Chelsea, you guys press very, very well. I'm not going to say the best pressers in the league because I don't think I've watched everyone enough to validate that statement. But from what I've seen, you're one of the best pressers in the league. You're second in the league right now. I know people were talking about this year they won a trophy in top four, and now as things are currently going, a little bit of the expectations are shifting. So it's a little bit of a three-sided question for you. Like, how are you seeing this? Is it a surprise for you? Is it sooner than you thought? Is it right on time when you thought? For Chelsea, where y'all are currently at in the table, could it be an Ange Postecoglou like meteoric rise for a new manager and then a subtle gravitational pull back down to where they should be in the end for you? Where do you think it's going to go? And then I want you to finish off telling me about the press, your press specifically.
Yeah. Start to the season is going how I expected it, really. Maresca. Oh, you muted yourself. Sorry, because the sound went. I know you muted yourself. The sound just went, and I was like, "Is that me?" But sorry, you muted
Oh
yourself.
yeah, I was putting my water bottle down. Then went clank.
No. my
Normally, I
bad.
play a clip to cover when I drink water, but since I have a guest, I didn't want to just play a clip to cut you. Hey, let me ask you a fucking 8-sided question and ramble for 15 minutes beforehand. And while you're trying to answer that question, I'm going to play you some stupid clip. But I'm not going to do that. All right.
No, it's cool. Yes. Actually, I even go back to the summer or to the end of last season.
I am not a clown. I am.
Sorry. You said end of last season, and it made me think that.
Do you want me
shout
to
out
rant
Poch.
about that guy? Do you want me to rant about that guy?
No. I mean, well, I want you to tell me your point. If it does involve Pochettino in the end of his tenure, where he took y'all from wherever y'all were, and you just weren't y'all the most informed team the last like 12 matches of last season? Y'all got the most points or something crazy like that. So, hey, shout out USA's manager Pochettino.
Jacob, I actually like you. Don't make me slander Ange.
I know Chelsea fans hate the guy, but he is, in the history of U.S. men's national team, he is the best manager we've ever had. Even though he couldn't get it done at Chelsea, I think there's just some places that's too much for people. Like when Eric Ten Hag, he probably could have been all right for us. However, you go to a place like Manchester United where if you fart or sneeze then fart, both are going to be critiqued, and it doesn't matter what you do. And I feel like Chelsea, from my standpoint, at least under your previous ownership, it's like if a manager said the wrong thing, he's gone. If he won and didn't smile enough, he's gone. If he won, then he lost, he's gone. It was just, they're always gone. It's very cutthroat. And, admittedly, y'all got success either way you want to view it. If it's the right way, or I didn't think it was the right way I was like, wow, they sacking that manager. He just won them something. Like not that long ago, you just won the fucking Champions League, and now you're sad. Okay. But then you go on and you win the league, and it's like, okay. So, clearly there's some method to the madness and what I perceived as madness. So, but Pochettino specifically, I thought at the end he did decently fine. But when you see what Enzo Maresca is doing, there's clear that there was something he wasn't quite grasping, because Enzo Maresca has come in and, first of all, surprised me with how well the team has been doing. But I'll say the first thing I liked about the guy was how he spoke. He didn't give a fuck. He said, I don't want Sterling. Give me your shirt, sir. It's going to Pedro Neto. And he was there, and you know how, like, Tottenham, I can't fathom Tottenham ripping a number. We won't even give the fucking number if the dude's on loan for 5 years.
Yeah, but what I love about Maresca embodies the best traits of past successful Chelsea managers like Conte, Mourinho, Ancelotti, even Sarri. But like, for example, that Sterling point you just brought up, you can only do that if the board is backing you. If they allow you to rip a shirt off a player who, yes, Sterling wasn't playing well, but we bought him for a lot of money. We bought him as a marquee signing. He's on a lot of wages. If your manager is allowed to do that, if he's giving that power to do that, that's actually something serious. And I wouldn't.
No, that's a good point. I don't think our manager's ever got that much power. That's a good point.
Exactly. Like, he was actually allowed to do that. He was allowed to, get rid of players. Gallagher, who was a fan favorite, being allowed to get rid of him.
They had banners at the stadium saying, "Save our Gallagher." And he was like, please don't make me go anywhere. And Tottenham was like, please. And he was like, I won't go. And we're like, please. Exactly. He's like, all right, I'll fuck off to Spain. It's like that was
Chilwell. Like Chilwell, we didn't get to sell him in the summer, but he's not part of our squad, really. He's only played one game in the Carabao Cup first round, and that was off the bench in the last 15 minutes when the game was done and dusted. Like, what we've done this season is everything I expected us to do last season if we had a better manager. Actually develop these players, lay down this foundation. The start we've had, I expected it this season because I wasn't expecting to like beat City. City are still City. I'm not expecting to beat Liverpool.
And it was the first game of the season too.
Yeah.
So
Man
everyone's really
United, everyone can say that we should have beaten them based on how poor they were, but our old record at Old Trafford is awful. And Arsenal are still Arsenal. They're still better than us. But in terms of the rest of the games, we've beaten everybody we should have beaten. The result against Palace and Nottingham Forest, yes, they should have been better. But Nottingham Forest this season, they've beaten Liverpool. They've beaten big sides. They've got results off big sides. So it's not necessarily the worst point for us in the world. We're doing what we're supposed to be doing in terms of being consistent for top four. The only reason why
Nottingham Forest, they beat Manchester United today 3-2. Exactly. This is the Amorim era, and everyone's top Amorims right now. Top red Amorims.
Someone said the Ruben interim era, but it wasn't me.
The Ruben interim areas, that's insane. But I like to see them struggle, and it doesn't look like Chelsea have been struggling too much lately either. But last year, admittedly, I thought Pochettino was doing a decent job because I was like, what he took over to where he's at now, and then seeing your charge at the end of the season, I thought he showed in the end of the season what he could do. And Chelsea fans were all kind of like, well, that's because he changed everything and he wasn't doing what he was trying to do before. He kind of abandoned that. And now the abandonment of it is what's working. So that shows that it's a failure on what he was trying to do. So I can understand that standpoint. So let me ask you real quick before we get back into the game. Your most recent results. I want to hear you talk a little bit about them. Obviously, Southampton, you won 5-1. They went down to 10 men off of a little tiny hair pull. Well, it was just a little. My daughter pulls my son's hair harder than that, and she ain't getting no red card.
Was it worse than what Spurs did against us?
No. Bro, Kuti got a handful. He was trying to tie him a ponytail and pulled him down. The other guy was like, but it was stupid, but it seemed like Pillsbury Doughboy crime. Like, who's mad at the Pillsbury Doughboy for stealing a croissant? Nobody. It's the Pillsbury. So he just, and it's like, you can't do that, obviously. So it's dumb. You're the captain. You have to be fucking smarter than that. Silly thing to do. But like, to be fair I'm imagining I'm on the pitch, right? And I'm continually going against a fullback who admittedly is having a very good year. He had a fantastic summer with Spain. He dyed his hair red and did the Estrella or whatever. And then, but football wise, he's been one of the better left backs in the league thus far. And so I'm imagining you're getting frustrated. This guy's kind of pissing you off. But every time you're dueling and he's flinging that, bro, I'm telling you, in basketball, I always put my hair up a certain way. So when I was low post, like in the basketball, when you're low post, you have a man behind you, so you have the ball and you're dribbling and you're trying to get closer to the basket. Well, I got a ponytail and I use that motherfucker, wow, blah, as I'm trying to fake them, So they're like, getting hit with the hair, they're getting hit with the juke moves, they don't know what's going on. Next thing you know, I'm laying it into the basket. So my thought is, maybe Cucurella is using his fucking hair as a weapon, and that's why so many people are giving that fucker thing. And it's interesting because in England, hair is not a part of the uniform, but in America, hair is a part of the uniform. But in American sports, you're also allowed to pull people down by their uniform. So by law, in the NFL, for instance, you can pull players down by their dreadlocks. Troy Polamalu, a very famous, real long, bushy hair guy, he was almost going to get a touchdown and someone fucking pulled him down by his hair. And they were like, that should be a flag. And they're like, no, it's part of his uniform. He's allowing his hair to be long like that. The NFL ruled it's part of the uniform. But it's not part of the uniform in the UK, and you can't pull it, which you can't pull the uniform in the UK either. So it's like, I don't know. Maybe it's just semantics for me at this point. I think pulling hair is wrong, but I've seen harder hair pulls in kink play personally. It was not very rough.
Chelsea fans that are watching, did you see the 5-minute spin Jacob went on to defend Romero for what he did? You see that? See that?
Hey. Yeah, well, moving along from that draw, which again, we couldn't fucking beat you, but we had the handshake from hell. Well, that was fun. The handshake from hell with Conte and Skeletor. That was interesting. But look, we're already on 20 minutes recording because I can't fucking stay on track. So I do want to preview the game. Talk to me about your press. What are you expecting? I know what you're expecting, but I just have to ask the question. What are you expecting going in tomorrow, and how do you kind of see the game playing out?
When Vicario got injured a few games ago for Spurs, for me that was confirmation of the battering we're going to give you guys. No, you don't have your best center back. Well, let me quote: you don't have one of the best center backs in the league in Van de Ven. You don't have Romero either. You don't have Vicario, who I put as one of the best goalkeepers in the league. I just think it's going to be open season. You also don't have Ben Davis, so you only have one fit center back, like you just said. And we saw what a full strength Spurs side did last season against us. You started off brightly fair, but we got back into the game.
Oh, if that fucking second goal, that Sonny goal, didn't get ruled off, there's an alternate timeline. Excuse me. There's an alternate timeline, Prime, where we score that goal, we remain undefeated, and we win the fucking league. But unfortunately, it's not the world we all live in right now.
I'll be Spurs. Yeah, I still think we would have beaten you guys regardless. I'll be real. Spurs fans.
I am not a clown. I am.
Spurs fans love. Why would Spurs fans love to say, "Oh, if we didn't go down to 8 men." I think we would have beaten you guys
No,
regardless.
I don't even think it's that. For me, it's that offside goal. Once, because we were on your fucking ass, like until that got, and once it got ruled off, it was like a gut punch almost, and you started applying pressure after that gut punch, and it was like we fell, got man out, man. And after that, it was just trying to keep up and play catch up for me. It all fell apart after that VAR ruling, in my opinion, because we had so much stoppage time too for reviews of this challenge, review of that goal, review of this, and it was like the stop-start nature of it to me was
that's what a Chelsea Spurs game is like. There's always like big incidents that happen.
Shenanigans. I call it shenanigans.
In terms of tomorrow, shenanigans. I like to say Romero should have been sent off for the hair pull, but regardless. In terms of tomorrow,
if it's me, I'll tell you right now, if it was reversed, Romero's your player, Cucurella is my player, I would absolutely say I wanted a red card for that hair pull, and he should have been red carded. Even retroactively, even if it didn't affect the game, I would be that upset about it. I promise. But from my perspective, yank that motherfucker, baby. If not, no harm, no foul. No one saw. We're 2024, and no one fucking, or I guess it was 23 at the time, but it was 22 maybe. It's like there's 80 cameras watching everything, and there's 7 angles of him like, give me that, fuck you, and like, no, that's just a failure. But we've been fucked too by a failure of refereeing, and that's why Anthony Taylor tomorrow. I don't even know his name. I just heard that's supposed to be good for Tottenham.
Yeah, because he's apparently doesn't like. He's terrible when refereeing Chelsea. But Maresca's come out and said that, like, regardless of the refs, we just need to like do what we have to do, basically. But in terms of tomorrow, I'm knowing what you guys have.
Did Maresca say this, or was this an AI quote? Sorry, I just thought about this, and I've been trying to preview the game, and I keep fucking cutting you off, so I'm sorry. But
no, it's fine.
Did he say before? Did he say this week it's a big game for them, but it's just a normal game for us?
No.
I thought I heard someone use that. Maresca was saying, they used a quote of, or maybe, you know how online people are in the chats of like football terrorists or Don Hassam it's flying. So you're like hard to keep up. But I feel like I thought I saw someone saying that Maresca was alluding to the fact that this is a big game for us. This is a huge moment for us. And like, it's all this moment for us. And for them, for y'all, Chelsea, it's just another game or just another match.
No, that is a quote from when he was at Leicester.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, wow, what a dickhead.
He said something like that, like it's a huge game for them. But that was like from when he was at Leicester.
Okay, so that makes sense. Well, anyway, back to the game though. So like you were saying, we've got all these reasons why we won't win, but is there any reason why you might fail on the day, Ladimus?
No, I think you guys have. You don't have your goalkeeper. You don't have your best defenders. Doggy Style is in poor form. You got Pedro Bangbros who's in poor form. Bentancur suspended for his antics. And even your attacking players, barring Kulu, who he's quality, he's one of the best creators in this league. Barring Kulusevski, I don't rate anyone else. So I don't even see how you guys really score, because I think Cucurella can keep Kulu quiet. And if he plays in the 10, I think Lavia can keep him quiet as well. I don't see how you guys even score against us.
You were very well rotated as well from the midweek match.
Yeah, against Southampton.
Lavia didn't play. Jackson didn't play.
Jackson didn't play against Southampton, and you could see when he was on the bench, he was angry because he wanted to join in with the goals. So
yeah, I mean, who does, bro? That's a finisher. You know what I mean? Like a proper attacker should be pissed when it's a fucking orgy and they don't get to get in on the fun.
And you don't want that guy against you guys now. I'm predicting a Jackson hat trick. I'm predicting 6-0.
Well,
like Chelsea have to put at least
he had a hat trick last year, right?
Yeah,
it was a hat trick.
And what you said, the way you guys turn over mistakes at the back, like the way we scored against Southampton, we missed like 7 big chances, I think, against Southampton. We could easily have put 10 past them without our best first 11.
Well, if you like missing big chances, we like to give big chances that hopefully you're going to miss, like we did for Bournemouth. They had about 7 in the second half after Ben Davies, the Welsh wall, Daddy Davies left. So we're shambles. And this is the other thing I want to talk about before we do predictions and end off here, which is, for me, something else I've noticed that we are susceptible to is, if it typically is like a number 10, sometimes it's a winger that gets the freedom from the manager of the opposition, where they allow them to drift in with the ball. If you're allowed to drift centrally so I'm imagining Cole Palmer starting in the 10, maybe starting out on the right, picking up the ball and having all this space, because when we played Aston Villa, we beat their ass, but Morgan Rogers, he was operating as their 10. That motherfucker was cooking. Omari Hutchinson versus Ipswich. We lost that one, 2-1. He kind of started out almost like a right midfielder, but they let him drift in, and we, as our shape in counterattacks, it's even worse. But even when y'all build up, the opposition builds up, and we're holding our shape, we're pressing so much in the first and second level that space in that third and fourth area is really open. So I've noticed in my amateur tactico mind, number 10s with the freedom to roam with the ball at their feet have a lot of joy. And then I think, who's the number 10, if I could pick one out of this league that I don't want to do any of what I just mentioned, it's fucking Cole Palmer.
Bingo. Yeah. Yeah.
And you guys haven't even been relying on him that much. He's a horse that ain't been, in the horse racing, they like, oh, that horse been rode a lot. I mean, they giddy him up. Last year, you rode him till the wheels fell off, and they never fell off, and he was a stud. But now
we have so many other weapons. We have an actual system that gets the best out of what we have. We don't need to just play through Palmer and rely on Palmer.
Does Nkunku start or Jackson? Who starts as your striker in front of him?
It'll be Jackson up top. I think he'll start Madueke on the right wing and Neto on the left, just in terms of if you guys still play that high line, the
traitorous
space we will get on the counter.
But also Pochettino failed him. But anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Bro, Madueke was like, for me, when that happened, it was him, and then we let Markinde go, and then a kid named Mundle. And I was like, any kid that I ever saw one or two matches of that I liked, we let them all, there was no pathway. So Noni Madueke was like...
Was there a Mark Edwards? He's at Sporting.
Yeah, Marcus Edwards. Yeah, he was another one. Him and Madueke were closer in the time. Like, they were both like, we're never gonna get to play the first. And Pochettino was just like, I don't want to hear. I am not a clown. You were waiting for the clip, weren't you?
Yeah, I thought you were gonna play.
I am not a clown.
Okay. Yeah, I did. I was trying to do the old when you're in the hall and you're kind of doing Oh, I'll go. Oh, no, excuse me. Oh, excuse me. You know, that's what I was trying to do.
Yeah,
Um,
I think
sorry, but
you play
talk to me
that
about Cole
line.
Palmer again.
I think
Yeah.
you play that high line. The pace of Jackson, Madueke, Neto, and behind will be dangerous. Palmer, like you said, having that freedom to like operate in between the lines. I would play Caicedo right back so he can invert into midfield with Lavia. That way we can also play Enzo and not have Enzo have the defensive responsibility. And that way Palmer doesn't have to drop even deeper to pick up the ball. So I think that will be our best chance. I think Spurs. I think
So
they'll start off
your
brightly.
midfield is who? Who's your midfield tomorrow?
Lavia, Enzo with Caicedo at right back, inverting into midfield, and Palmer in the 10.
I noticed as well, and early on in the season, y'all like to invert your fullbacks just like we do.
Yeah,
But for
we
some
still
reason,
do
no
that.
one says that you're a suicidal kamikaze about it. But for us, it's like, how dare you? You're the Grinch who stole Christmas because you're Australian and you have your hands in your pockets. So it's really, it reminds me of that meme, flirting versus harassment, or like Rick Ross there with his titties out, and it's like put a shirt on, and it's Lizzo with hers out, and it's like empowerment. So it's like. It's one way for everybody else, but for Tottenham, we're the fuck put a shirt on, dude.
Listen, we're a big club, bro. The rules are different over here.
Fuck all that. I ain't talking about all that. But anyway, your prediction for the
Yeah.
match with the midfield does attackers. You said, what's your score line? What's the potential of you being wrong with the score line you're going to give?
Yeah, I'm saying I think like we can put at least 4 past you. I'm going 6 because I'm expecting a Jackson hat
6.
trick. The way he looked
If you score
against
6,
Southampton,
bro, we're done for. If you score 6,
the
the whole
way
it's
he
all.
looked, the way he looked when he was warming up against Southampton, that he couldn't join in the game. Madueke, he's I don't know whether he will start or not. I think he will start, but whether he starts or not, I expect him to get some sort of contribution. I'm expecting Neto to get a contribution. I'm expecting Palmer to get a contribution. I think Sancho could get one, whether he starts or it's off the bench. Cole
The amount of good
Chelsea
attackers that
I
y'all
think
have.
he can score as well from possibly a set piece against you guys. I think it's just open season. I'm expecting, like, if we don't get more than 4 past this Spurs team, I'll be very disappointed. Now, I think Spurs will start off brightly, though. I think you will start off brightly in the opening, like maybe 5-ish minutes or so, 10 minutes or so. So it's up to you guys. Can you bag first and try and like shut us down in terms of the game plan and have us to rethink it, or will you guys miss your first couple of chances and then we score off your mistake and then things just fall apart? But what I do want to say, Jacob, and I've been asking this to Spurs fans for a week, if the beating is bad, if it's 4-5-6-0, what happens to Ange? Not from your opinion, but from like what do you think will actually happen in terms of the
I
fans'
think if
reaction?
it's a proper ass whooping that y'all put on us, I think we could see an official club statement as early as Monday morning, or even as early as an hour after full-time whistle, because the place will get real toxic real quick. Even in games where we've won, but moments where we've struggled, there's been, it's almost like a eerie, like a hum in the stadium rather than it sounding like a fucking stadium. So my thought is, if that happens, for me, I wouldn't agree with it and I wouldn't do it. I'm Ainge till it's backwards. I'm Ainge till it fucking kills me. And a 5-0, 4-0, 5-1, if anything, what you're thinking is going to happen happens, I might be dressed for a funeral the rest of the week. And this is the problem, because everyone wants to see me lose my shit, but I'm not trying to lose my shit. I'm trying to win, glory, fucking Tottenham Hotspur. But what's happening is I'm teetering the edge of sanity and insanity, because I feel so serendipitously like Ainge is here for a reason to help pull us out of the shithole that we've been in since I've been a fan. We did this, and then we did this, and then and then the last part has just all been straight trajectory down. And Ainge, for me at least, has tried to stop it. He said, Eric Dyer, get the fuck out of here. Davinson Sanchez, get the fuck out of here. Hugo Lloris, get the fuck out of here. He started chopping it up. Oh, Harry Winks, fuck you. Oliver Skip, fuck you. He started chopping. And to me, he did things that Jose couldn't get rid of those fucking losers. Conte couldn't get rid of those losers. Nuno couldn't get rid of. So he's, I saw it when he came in as a time of like, we are shifting now. We are turning the page and trying to do things differently. The rumor is coming out of the PR forums, allegedly from the brown envelopes, is that Levy's more accepting of losses in the league now in the prospects of building something. However, when they start chanting Levy out, there's one thing he does to get that fucking pressure off him, and that's cut the head off of the manager. It's happened too often. And I think if that's what's going on, Prime, you will start hearing Levy out chants. You will start hearing the toxicity around the ground, and that will cause Levy to do something. And it's not going to be what everyone wants Levy to do, and that's the right thing. It's going to do the thing that we've always known him to do, which is, I'll just change the manager and you'll have 6 months of transition, 6 months of you think you're the greatest ever, and then 6 months of falling down the hill, covering yourself in poo-poo. And I hate that. I hate that cycle. It is a purgatory hell for Spurs fans, and it's been my reality since Pochettino. And I hate it. I fucking hate it. My last final was for Jose Mourinho, and we are still poised to compete in 3 competitions. And, you know, at the beginning of the season, a lot of people said, would you take a 10th place finish and a Carabao Cup or an FA Cup? Yes, I fucking would, is the resounding answer for a lot of people. We are in position to do, we are projected to do just that. Actually, one space higher, 9th or 8th. And we're in a quarterfinal of 1 cup. And then we play we have a favorable draw for the first round of the FA Cup. We're still in the Europa Cup. You know, we're not automatic qualifying like we should have been. However, you know, Galatasaray away was always going to be our hardest fixture. So we lost what I thought would be our hardest fixture in the group stage. Fine. Roma, I thought would be a better team. We should have won. We drew. Fine. But now what happens versus Rangers? By the way, Rangers manager's fucking bald, so I think we're gonna win. But hey, I'm telling you, man, we win for Chelsea. Come on, age hates these bald managers. Look, I could talk shit all day, but I do have to keep this short and sweet. We are over 30. We're approaching 40 minutes, and honestly, Prime, we were originally going to do this live because I could talk to you for hours about different shit. So. Hey, but I think we were chatting before we started recording for about an hour, so my wife is definitely going to be pissed at me. But look, you're saying
if you want to do a review after the game, I'll be there if you want to do a review live. Because
I mean,
if it's 6-0 and he gets, like what you said, if it's a battering and he gets sacked like an hour after the game, guys, make sure you're subscribed to the channel and like, please, because Jacob's going to need it.
Yeah. So gonna do a watch along. So that way, if it's going bad, I'm just gonna sit here and cover myself up with robes, and I'm just gonna be here. I'm not even gonna say shit if that's what's going on. But my prediction, I haven't given mine, so we'll end off the upload here with, I don't know what to call it, an episode or upload, but we'll end it off here with my prediction. There was a question that was asked to me from someone in the chat. Says, Jacob, what do you think's going to happen tomorrow versus Chelsea? I said, what I think is going to happen is a lot different than what I feel or what I hope will happen. And, you know, throughout humankind, human history, Ladimus, you may know this, but in poetry and in songs and in theater and in art often replicates and imitates life, they say. And they write songs about the impossible, about when your cards are stacked against you, your back is against the wall, when you do what you're not supposed to do, and you do what you don't do what you're supposed to do, and you do what you're not supposed to do. David versus Goliath, I believe, is a thousands of year old story of a young man with a little slingshot and took down a great big giant like a blue bastard lion. And, you know, whether it's real or not, we'll never know. But it's a story that's been passed down for thousands of years, Ladimus, as well as love songs about, you know, conquering your fears and, getting yourself out of the rut that you're in and becoming a better person. And a lot of shit that doesn't have to do with football I just mentioned there, by the way, as to why I hope we will get a result. So fuck it. Remember the fucking Alamo. Come on, you fucking Spurs. Fuck all those reasons that everybody's got why we're going to lose. I'm saying 3-2 to the Tottenham. 3-2 to the mighty Tottenham, and we break the curse. Ainge breaks the curse. The wham-whams go, wham-wham was only Chelsea. Oh, you inverted the fullback. And Ainge gets the last laugh, motherfucker. Ainge gets the last laugh. And then at the end of the day, we're not saying get him out of here. I won't be saying get him out of here either way. But you know what we will be saying? Who our gaffer is if we do win?
Ange Postecoglou.
All right. That's my gaffer. He is my gaffer now, tomorrow, and I pray on Monday as well because it's getting dicey out here. The waters are getting choppy, so to speak, and the surfboards are not surfing as smooth. So, with that said, I want to say thank you so much, Prime, for joining me today. It's gone way longer than I anticipated. My wife is going to be angry. But hey, hopefully we're all going to be happy tomorrow. I'm going to be happy tomorrow. But if not, hopefully, again, last thing, when the whole world is like, oh, this is a foregone conclusion, it's 100%. Of course it's going to go this way. Sometimes life is funny like that. And in football, it's funny like that. I pray. I beg. I pray. I need it. I want it. I deserve it. Tottenham Hotspur, please. If I was ever right about anything in my life, about Ainge being here, about the fact that kangaroos were my favorite animal as a child, and then Ainge got here, kangaroos, and I thought that I cursed Steve Irwin to die, but it was a manta ray, so fuck a manta ray or a stingray, whatever one it was, fuck them all. But kangaroos for me have been a symbol of hope and love and beautiful spiritualism. And Ainge has brought the kangaroo full fold to the other love, which is Tottenham. And I pray that, God, I keep talking about shit that has nothing to do with football, huh? It's just all hope, prayers, dreams, and beliefs and serendipity. And
let me just say this: the kangaroo is gonna get barbecued on the barbie.
Okay, see, this is where even Australian people who do enjoy the delicacy, I often say, don't eat the kangaroo, love the kangaroo. But ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for the upload. I'm saying 3-2 mighty Tottenham Hotspur. Come on, son.
6-0.
Son, I need you to score some goals, son.
6-0 Chelsea. Jackson.
Maybe a new Dele Alli will be born. He liked the game verse, y'all. Fuck, I'm open here.
He didn't win anything.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. Like, subscribe, share the content, comment below what your predictions are. I will respond to every prediction you put into the chat. And remember, ladies and folks, love an Ainge Postecoglou. Don't hate an Ainge Postecoglou. Up the lads. Stay blessed, stay fresh. Be kind to yourself and be kind to others. And come on, you Spurs.
Ange, ladies and gentlemen.